Okay, we're still on 4.6. This is part 2, and I'm on problem number 8. It says find two consecutive even integers that the sum of the larger and 3 times the smaller is 234. Sounds a little confusing, but let's still do our let statement. So let's say let x equal the first, and then x plus 2 because it says consecutive even integers, and that's going to be my second one. Okay. And remember, this first one right here, that's my smaller number. That's always the smallest, right? Smaller number. And this other one right here is my larger number. This x plus 2 is my larger number. So now I'm going to go back and see what they're saying to do. So it says find two consecutive even integers such that the sum of the larger and 3 times the smaller. So I'm going to say 3 times the smaller plus x plus 2, and then it equals 234. So it's just a little different, but make sure you still do the setup the same. Then you just go back and read it and see what they want you to do to the problem. So now 3 times x is 3x plus 2 equals 234. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to combine our like terms. And my like terms, when I add them together, is going to be on the next page. So 3x plus x is 4x plus 2 equals 234. Okay, so we're going to solve for x by subtracting 2 from both sides. And then, of course, divide by 4. Sorry. And x equals 58. That's my smaller number. And our rule was x is 58, and then I have to add 2 to that, so that gives me 60. Okay? But the way we check this is we're going to substitute it in. It says 3 times the smaller number. I'll substitute it back in again. Plus the other number, or the larger number, is equal to 234. So when I multiply 3 times 58, I get 174 plus 60 equals 234. So add the 174 and the 60, it gives you 234 equals 234. So I'm just checking it. Let's go on to number 9. Number 9 says find two consecutive odd integers such that the sum of the smaller and 3 times the larger is 330. So we want to do our let statements first. So our let x is going to be the first one. Remember, that's your smallest one. And then we're going to say x plus 2 is our second number, or our largest number, right? Okay, so now I'm going to go back and read it again, because you have to make sure. It says find the two consecutive odd integers such that the sum, so we're going to add them together, of the smaller and 3 times the larger. So 3 times the larger number, and then it's going to equal 330. Okay, so now I have x plus distributive property then we combine like terms, and then we're going to solve for x. So we had 4x plus 6 equals 330. We're going to subtract 6 from both sides. It gives us 324. When we divide by 4 on both sides, we get x equals 81. Okay, so we're going to go back to our rule. Our rule is that's our smallest number, that's our first number. And then to find our next number, we have to add 2 to it, and it's going to give us 83. So those are our two numbers, but we have to follow the rule to check it. So the rule says we're going to take the smaller number, and we're going to add it to 3 times 81 plus 2. All I'm doing is substituting it in. 81 plus 3 times 83 is 330. And 81 plus 249 is supposed to equal the 330. 330 equals 330. You should always get into the habit to check your work. If you can see if your answer is correct, you should always do that. Okay, we're on number 10. We're almost done. I'd like you to try these on your own and then go back and watch the video. But if you need to use the video to do these, please do. Okay? It says find 3 consecutive. So they're consecutive. They're one after the other. Integers such that the sum of the largest and 5 times the smallest. So we need 3 of them. So let's do our let statements first. So x is my first, which is my smallest number. X plus 1 is my second number. And then x plus 2 is my third number, and it's also my largest one. So let's go back and see what it says. 3 consecutive integers such that the sum of the largest and 5 times the smallest. So all they want me to do is use the smallest one and the largest one, and we're still going to get the right answer. So it says 5 times the smallest one plus add the larger one, and that's going to equal negative 244. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to combine our like terms. So 5 times x is 5x plus x plus 2 equals negative 244. I had to do that first before we do our combined like terms. So when we combine our like terms, we end up with 6x plus 2 equals negative 244. You're going to subtract 2 from both sides, and you get 6x equals negative 246. Divide by 6, and x equals negative 41. So we're going to go back to our rule again. Our rule says x is negative 41. Then it says to take x and add 1, so it's going to give me negative 40. And then it says to take x and add 2 to it, so it's going to give me negative 39. So those are the three numbers we're looking for, but now we're going to check our answer. So what we did was we had 5 times the smallest number, which is negative 41, and then it said to add those to it. Whoa. Okay, so this gives me negative 205 minus 41 plus 2, because I used that rule that we made. Oops. And then we get negative 244 equals negative 244. So that's our check. We just checked it. Okay. Now we're on number 11. So let's see what it says on number 11. Number 11 says find 3 consecutive even integers. So we're looking at even integers now, so we're going to add that too, such that the sum of twice that. So let's do this. X is the first. X plus 2 is the second. X plus 4 is the third, because they said 3. Let's do that part first. All right, and then such that the sum of twice the smallest, so twice the smallest, and 4 times the largest. That's the largest, is equal to 304. So 2x plus 4x plus 16 equals 304, right? We did our distributive property. Now we're going to combine our like terms. 6x plus 16 equals 304. Let's solve for x. So 6x plus 16 equals 304. We're going to subtract 16 from both sides. It gives us 288. You divide both sides by 6, and x equals 48. So let's go by our rule, though. So we have 48 is our first number. When we add 2, so 48 is our first number. When we add 2, we're going to get, where did I put my numbers? 48, I don't know what I do. 50, right? Oh, no, yeah. 48 plus 2, yeah, you're going to add 2, because let me go back to our rule. Our rule said to add 2. I just want to make sure I didn't add 1 or 2 or whatever. So when I add 2, I get 50. And then notice your rule back here says add 4, and you get 52. Okay? Now let's go back and do our rule, or just to check it. So these are 3 consecutive even integers, okay? And now let's go with the rule. The rule says if we take 2, twice the first number, or the smallest number, plus 4 times the largest number is 304. So now we have 96 plus 4 sorry, times 52 equals 304. So 96 plus 208 is supposed to equal 304. 304 equals 304, so we checked it. Okay? All right. Last one, number 12. Find 3 consecutive odd integers such that the sum of 7 times the smallest and twice the largest is negative 91. So again, x is the first, right? X plus 2 is the second. And x plus 4 would be our third, because we're talking about consecutive odds. So now it says 7 times the smallest plus 2 times the largest, and then it's going to equal negative 91. Okay? So then we're going to do distributive properties. So we have 7x plus 2x plus 8 equals negative 91. Combine like terms. Subtract 8 from both sides. Divide by 9. And x equals negative 11. Now we're going to go over the rule. The rule said to add 2. So if x is negative 11, we're going to add 2. We get negative 9. And if we take x and we add 4 to it, so x is negative 11, we add 4 and negative 7. To check it, 7 times negative 11 plus 2 times negative 11 plus 4 equals negative 91. And when you do the math, you're going to get negative 91 equals negative 91. Okay, if you did not finish the handouts, you need to finish the handouts. There isn't a test. There may be a test at the end of the bell next class, but I'm probably going to wait another day.